Hello, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to us all to our grammar lessons, inshallah. We are continuing the next topic in the book, An-Nahul Wadih. I hope and pray this lesson finds you all in good shape of health and faith. Inshallah, the next topic is directly related to the previous one we did, Al-Maqsur wa Ahwalu I'rabihi. And now we are looking at the number 2, Al-Manqus wa Ahwalu I'rabihi. This is all under Al-Asma'ul Mu'tallatul Akhir, nouns that have weak ending. And I've been repeating that when we say weak ending, we mean those that end with one of the weak letters. And the weak letters are 3. We have Alif, Waw, Yai. And so we are discussing nouns that end with the weak letter. And we've already discussed al-maqsur. Al-maqsur, which we said is a noun that ends with alif. So like al-fata and all those as we saw previously. And now we are looking at al-manqus wa ahwalu i'rabihi. Al-manqus is the noun that ends with yai. And ahwalu i'rabihi is cases of grammatical analysis. How it is grammatically analyzed. Okay, it says al-amthila. So we go into it directly, and then we have, it says al-amthila, farra al-jani. And when we say farra, to run away, to escape, farra minhu, to run from him. Farra al-jani. Al-jani is a criminal, a culprit. When it says farra al-jani, the criminal has escaped. And we have adala al-qadi, the judge has been just. He has judged justly. Adala al-qadi, the judge was just. Nada al-munadi, the caller called. Al-munadi is the caller. Nada is he called. So the caller called. Yandamu al-baghi. Yandamu al-baghi. Yandamu is from nadima, to regret. It says yandamu al-baghi. And al-baghi is a person who acts unjustly, an oppressor. That is al-baghi. It says yandamu al-baghi. So the oppressor regrets, or the one who acts unjustly regrets. Yandam. Okay. And then we have, when we look at the next part, we have habastu al-jani. Habastu al-jani. A moment. Okay, it says habastu al-jani. Habasa is to arrest or to lock up. Habastu al-jani, I locked up the culprit or the criminal. Nahtarimu al-qadi. So you look at here, habastu al-janiya. It's the fatha is supposed to be there. I've already said the PDF copy has its own flaws. But then if you are using the hard copy and you are lucky to have a very good print, you realize that in this second 4 parts, all the yai has alif. So you hear habastu al-janiya, nahtarimu al-qadiya. For al-qadiya, the fatha should. Sami'tu al-munadiya, yaqrahu an-nasu al-baghiya. Okay, as to the meaning, habastu al-janiya, I locked up the criminal. Nahtarimu al-qadi, nahtarimu al-qadiya. Of course, when you are reading, you are speaking, you say nahtarimu al-qadi. But then you should note that the fatha is apparent on the yai. The fatha appears. Nahtarimu al-qadiya. We respect the judge. Sami'tu al-munadiya. I heard the caller. When we say al-munada with fatha on the dal, we mean that which is being called, or the one who is being called. That is the al-munada. Like if I say ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu, I am calling on those who have believed. Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu. And so alladhina amanu here are the munada. And then the one calling, as in the verse of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the munadi. He's the one calling on us. Yakrahu nasu al-baghi. People hate the oppressor. People hate the oppressor. Then we have nazartu, the last four. So basically, what is happening here is that these four here are marfu. They are in all these cases, the nouns come as marfu. You see, farra al-jani. Al-jani is the fa'il, is the doer. If you've revised your fa'il, fi'l and fa'il very well, you realize that we have the farra, which is the fi'l. So we are looking for who is doing the action of running away. Then we say al-jani. So al-jani here is the fa'il and it's supposed to be marfu. That means it should have dhamma. And you realize that we did not see any dhamma throughout. Adal al-qadi, nada al-munadi, yandamu al-baghi. There is no dhamma. So in the case that it is marfu, we didn't see the dhamma. Okay, now let's come here. This second batch, this four, in all these four, then the same words, they appeared as maf'ulun bihi, the object. Habastul jani, nahtarimul qadi. So you realize that all these come, I locked up. Who did you lock up is the object in the sentence, in the grammatical sentence. Nahtarimu, we respect. The one we respect is the object of our action. Sami'tu, I heard. What I heard or the one I heard is the object. Yakrahu nasu, people hate. Who do they hate? They hate the oppressor, al-baghi. And so al-baghi is the maf'ulun bihi. So that is how it goes. And now we come to the last batch here. So we've seen marfu and we've seen mansub. Nazartu ila al-jani, I looked at the criminal. So since you've seen ila, you know that this noun is supposed to be majroor, because any noun that comes after harf jar is ismu majroor. It's a noun that should come in the genitive case. Kumna ijlalan lil qadi, we stood up. Kumna, from qama. Kumna, we stood up. Ijlalan, in reverence. We stood up in reverence or in respect, lil qadi, for the judge. So you see li here. That means the noun should end in kasra. It should be majroor. Asghaytu ila al munadi. Asghaytu is from the verb asgha. Asgha is to give an ear to pay attention to. Okay, so that's why when somebody calls on you like hal tasma ilayya, you say uzunun saghiya. Uzunun saghiya, like it's an expression to mean you have my attention, but literally a listening ear. Udhun is an ear. Saghiya is that which is listening. It's from the same verb asgha. Okay, so if I say izghi ilayya or asghi ilayya, that is pay attention to me. So it says asghaytu ilal munadi, I listened to the caller, or I paid attention to the caller. Al baghi taduru dawair. This is a wise saying. Al baghi taduru dawair. It's like saying taduru dawair al baghi. Dawair is the plural of da'ira, and da'ira is like the circle. So it's like saying the one who acts oppresses people, it will come to his turn. Al-baghi taduru dawair. It's come to a turn, and he was the one playing the role of the oppression. It will come to a turn again, where he will now become the one being oppressed. So that is what they say, al-baghi taduru dawair. Again, it has a similar saying where they say, inqalaba as-sihru ala as-sahir. That is, the magic has turned against the one doing the magic himself. So it's like that. Or the sorcery has turned against the one doing the sorcery itself. Inqalaba as-sihru ala as-sahir. Okay, the same like this one, al-baghi taduru dawair. The oppressor, it will definitely come to his turn where he will also be oppressed. So you see ala here, it means that al-baghi should become majroor, but then the yai in this case does not take the kasra. So we realize that in the first four, here, فر الجاني عدل القاضي نادى المنادي يندم الباغي, all the nouns al-jani, al-qadi, al-munadi, al-baghi, they were supposed to take dhamma, but they didn't. And when they were all mansub here, they were supposed to take fatha, they took the fatha all right. حبست الجانية نحترم القاضية سمعت المنادية يقره الناس الباغية, the fatha appears. And then when it's supposed to take kasra also, the kasra does not appear. So when a noun that is mankus, that ends in yai, is supposed to take dhamma, or it is marfu, the dhamma does not show. It is muqaddar. When it is supposed to take fatha, the fatha is zahira. It appears clearly. And when it is supposed to take kasra, it does not take it. The kasra is also muqaddara, is hidden. So dhamma and kasra are muqaddara when the noun is al-ism al-manqus, and the fatha is al-zahira when the noun is al-ism al-manqus. Okay, now let's look at the explanation. I've summarized it though. Al-Bahth, it says al-kalimatu, the words al-jani, al-qadi, wal-munadi, baghi. These four words, it says kulluha asma'un mu'rabatun. They are all nouns that decline. That is, they accept changes. At a point they are fa'il marfu, at a point they are maf'ulun bihi mansub, at a point they are majrur, ism majrur. So they decline. Their grammatical cases changes. وفي آخر كل منها ياء ثابتة مقصور ما قبلها. He says in each of them too, you realize that there is a yai that is consistent with it. All the nouns have a yai. The yai does not leave it. They always come with the yai. هذه الأسماء وما شابهها تسمى بالأسماء المنقوصة. These nouns and anything that looks like it, these nouns and anything that looks like it, they are called al-asma'ul manqusa. And when you hear al-ismul manqus, that is a noun that ends in yai, and the yai is preceded by a kasra. As it said here, وفي آخر كل منها ياء ثابتة مقصور ما قبلها. مقصور ما قبلها means that which comes before the yai is kasra. You can just refer back and see. Baghi, the gain is kasra. Nadi, munadi, the dal is kasra. Qadi, the dad is kasra. Jani, the noon is kasra. So that is why he says maqsurun ma qablaha. That means that which comes before the yai at the end of the noun is kasra. Okay. So when you see any noun like that with a yai at the end and that which comes before the yai is kasra, that noun is called al-ismul manqus. Okay, now let's come to the grammatical sense of it. He says, وَإِذَا تَأَمَّلْنَا هَذِهِ الْأَسْمَاءِ وَجَدْنَاهَا فِي الْقِسْمِ الْأَوَّلِ مَرْفُوعًا. If you should ponder over these words, we realize that in the first part, as I've shown, they are all marfu'ah. لأن كلا منها يقع فاعلا, because each of them comes as a fa'il. And we said that al-fa'ilu da'iman marfu'un. Fa'il is always marfu'. And I've explained over and over that when you hear marfu', basically we are talking about dhamma. وفي الكتم الثاني منصوبة. In the second part, the same nouns comes as mansub. That is, they are supposed to take fatha. لأن كلا منها يقع مفعولا به, because each of them in the second part comes as the object in the sentence, مفعول به. Okay, and then he says وفي القسم الثالث, and in the third part, let's move here, and in the third part وفي القسم الثالث majruratun, you realize that they are majrura. بحرف جر. They are majrura بحرف jar. That is, they've been made majrur, they've been made to be in the genitive case because they are preceded by a harf jar. ولكننا لا نرى هنا من علامات الإعراب سوى الفتحة أو سوى الفتحة. It says here that we do not see, ولكننا لا نرى, we do not see here من علامات الإعراب, anything of the signs of إعراب, because when it is marfun we didn't see the dhamma, when it is majrur we didn't see the kasra. But what did he say? He says siwa al-fathata, that except fatha we see fatha. التي هي علامة النصب, which is the sign of nasb. فما السبب في ظهور علامة النصب وحدها واختفاء علامتي الرفع والجر. Says, what is the reason behind the zuhur alamat al-nasb, the appearance of the sign of nasb, that is the appearance of fatha. What is the reason behind the fatha appearing wahdaha, alone, واختفاء علامتي الرفع والجر, and the hiddenness of the two signs of al-raf'u al-jar, that is a dhamma and kasra. Why is the dhamma and kasra not showing and the fatha showing? السبب في ذلك أن آخر كل كلمة من هذه الكلمات يا. The reason is that the ending of each of these words is ya'i. The ya letter ends each of these words. والياء يخفى ظهور الفتحة يخفى ظهور الفتحة عليها. Says the ya'i, the appearance of fatha is hidden on it. That is, fatha is hidden on it. It's not shown. It is muqaddara. ويثقل ظهور كل من الضمة والكسرة. No, والياء, he wants to say yai is lighter for it to take fatha. Sorry, this line particular, let's take note of it again. والياء يخف ظهور الفتحة عليها. And with the yai, the appearance of fatha is light on it. It's able to take the fatha because it's light on it. ويثقل ظهور كل من الضمة والكسرة. And يثقل is heavy. The appearance of dhamma and kasra is heavy for the yai. ولذلك تنصب هذه الأسماء بفتحة ظاهرة. And so these kind of nouns, when they are in the accusative case or when they are mansub, the fatha appears clearly. وترفع وتجر بضمة وكسرة مقدرتين على الياء. And when it's supposed to be majrur and marfu', the dhamma and kasra are hidden. They are not shown because they are heavy for it. Al-qawaid, the rulings. Al-manqus huwa kullu ismin. When we say a noun is manqus, what does it mean? It says huwa kullu ismin mu'rabin akhiruhu. Huwa kullu ismin mu'rabin, it is any noun that accepts declension, that declines, that changes its ending vowels. That is, it is not mabni. Akhiruhu ya'un lazimatun. Its ending is a consistent ya'i. That is, it ends with ya'i always. Maqsurun ma qablaha. And that which comes before the ya'i is kasra, as we showed previously. The second ruling, the first one is just the definition. The second has to do with the grammatical ruling of it. And it says, تقدر الضمة والكسرة على آخر المنقوس. Dhamma and kasra are hidden, تقدر على آخر المنقوس, at the end of a noun that is ending with yai. The dhamma and kasra are hidden. في حالتي الرفع والجر, in the two cases of raf'u and jar. So when it's supposed to be marfu', where it's supposed to take dhamma, the dhamma is not shown. The dhamma does not appear. It's not put there. And when it's supposed to be majrur, where it will take kasra, the kasra too is not given. Amma nasbu, as for nasb, that is when it's supposed to be mansub, فَيَكُونُ بِفَتْحَةٍ ظَاهِرَةٍ عَلَى آخِرِهِ. In that case, the yai takes the fatha. Alright, apparently, it takes the fatha clearly. Why? Because fatha is lighter for it to take, for yai to take, but dhamma and kasra are heavy for it, and so yai does not take it. And so when you see a noun that is manqus, that looks like any of these, when you see a noun that is manqus, and somebody is speaking and he says, ذَهَبَ الْقَاضِيُّ ذَهَبَ الْقَاضِيُّ, you say no, qadi here is fa'il, and it's marfu, and it's supposed to be dhamma muqaddara, not dhamma zahira. So you shouldn't say ذهب القاضي, but what? ذهب القاضي. But when I say ضربت القاضية, that one is right, because yai can take the fatha clearly. ضربت القاضية. When I say ذهبت مع القاضي, I shouldn't say ذهبت مع القاضي. I shouldn't give the yai the kasra, because yai does not like the kasra, it doesn't take it. That is what we are supposed to know about al-manqus wa ahwalu i'rabihi. A very basic lesson, but it needs attention. It has a direct link to the previous lesson, so you can watch again and link them up. If anything is confusing, please ask. If anything is confusing you, please ask, and we will do our best. Politely, and we will answer. Okay. Till we meet again, have a good Arabic time, and then I hope to meet you again, inshallah, soonest. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.